friends, welcome back. So today we are going to build our very first GraphQL server using Apollo and TypeScript. Now, if you have never used TypeScript or GraphQL before, don't worry, I'll explain everything step by step in a very super simple words. Now, in the last episode, we talked about what GraphQL is and why it is helpful. Now, it is time to write some code. So here what we'll be doing, we'll create our new project using TypeScript, then we'll install all the tools we need, and then we will build our little tiny GraphQL server to start with, run it, and test it. Now, before I open my code, let's first hit up the documentation, which should be always your source of truth. Okay, so I'll keep the link for you in the description. So this is the Apollo server documentation, and basically what we will do, we'll just follow the steps, easy peasy. Now, first thing is to create the folder where you host your server in your machine. So feel free to do that. Then open up your terminal and then cd your folder location. So that's where I'll be creating my server today. Now, next thing after that is to initialize our project using npm, which is a package manager. Now, I'm assuming if you're watching GraphQL, you already know what is Node and it's already installed. But if it is not, just feel free to head this site, which is nodejs.org, and install Node.js. And this will install Node on your laptop and also allow you to use this npm package manager right here. Okay. Now, I'll go and just copy this command and I'll paste it right there. So this command, what we'll do, just initialize my project, create a package.json for me, and also make sure I'm setting up my project as a module. Okay, hit enter, and that should create the project for me. Now, as I'll do, I'll open this in my Visual Studio Code. So feel free to open it up in any way you like, but I'm just using the command code actually, space dot, and I'll open up my Visual Studio Code, which will bring it right here in the screen for you. Okay, now if you don't have this command working, you can just open up any editor you like from this Visual Studio Code. You can go here to File, Open Folder, and then point to the folder you want to open, and it will open it up for you. Okay, now if I open the package.json, you can see this is a name by default give me. I can change if I want to, but the main thing for me I want to see is the type module. And next thing now to install a few other packages which help us to run our server. So I'll just copy this command where we are installing the Apollo server and the GraphQL. So I'll just copy this one, go back to my terminal, paste it, and run that one as well. Meanwhile, you have two options when you're going to the documentation. You can use the JavaScript way or TypeScript, which is really recommended. So I'll be using TypeScript for this video, but again, it's not much of difference. So I'll go ahead with this one, and it's asking me to create a directory first called source, and then create a TS file inside. So what I will do, I'll just go actually to my terminal, create new folder, call it src, and then create a file that I'll call it index.ts. Simple as that. Now, next step is basically to install TypeScript and types node packages, which will be supporting the TypeScript. So I'll copy these commands again, go back to my terminal, and install that too. Meanwhile, that's happening. Oops, that's something complaining. Okay, so I have a slash in the end. Let's remove that and then hit enter, and that should work. Now, next I want to do is create a TS config because I'm using TypeScript. So I'll just go and copy this name, go back to my projects, but make sure I'm in the source folder, create new file called tsconfig.json. Okay, now this file will enable us basically to add some configuration on how TypeScript will compile our code. So the way we'll do it is just add some configuration here. So I'm telling the root directory is source folder, and the out directory means when it compiles, it will put inside some this folder. Okay, now I'll just copy this and paste it right there. Simple as that. When that one is done, we can go back to our package.json that we create first time with a script, and we will update this script so we have our own script that run our file. So I will just go and copy this and come back here and remove the whole thing and replace it and add a comma here. Okay, there we go. That is good. Now, everything is set up. We can go to our terminal. Now, I'll stop using the outside terminal and I will use the built-in terminal in my Visual Studio Code. So I'll go to terminal. And now we'll just hit this. We have now this command here or script. So I'll run this script, and this script basically run the compiler and also tell to put the compiled file inside this folder with this file name. That's all what it does. Now let's go write npm start and let's see what happened. You can see the command is running, nothing has failed, but let's put some code inside our index.ts. Okay, so first thing we want to do is to import Apollo server that we installed earlier and also the start standalone server. So what I will do, I'll just paste some code quickly right here. And basically the Apollo server here, we use it to create the server. And the second one here, it will start the standalone server for us while listening to a port. And you'll see how we do this. So I'll come right here, I'll create a new const, I'll call it server. And that will be equal to new Apollo server that we imported earlier and we installed it before. And inside it accept few properties which we will add later. So I'll just keep it like this for now. Now next thing is to define a URL that will be listening to. So const, I'll say URL, and that will be equal to await at start standalone server. And to that, it accepts two arguments. First one is the server that we defined earlier. And second one is an object with few properties. One of them is to which port we'll be listening to. So I'll use listen property, and then I'll pass on a port property. And you can pass any port number you like. I'll pass 4000, which is the standard one. Okay. Now, if I go here, say console.log for now, and I will say server running at, and I can pass the URL that I am using. And because I want to read this as a variable, I will use the backticks. Okay, now this Apollo here is expecting one argument, that's why it's giving me an error. So I need an object here passed on, and that our object take in few properties. One of them is called type def, and we will come back to these properties actually later. So I'll just give it an empty string, and something else called resolvers, okay, which I'll give it an empty object for now, and we will come back to this later. Now, my app is ready actually to be running, so I will go and write npm start again, hit enter, and let's see if this will work. I can see some logs are coming there, which is great. Now, that throws me an error. A reason why it says is that query root type must be provided. Okay, so what that means? In simple ways, it just says, hey, I can't work without at least one query, and we didn't provide that yet, and that we'll go through it in the next episode.